Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday morning to you all as we're back here with a brand new episode of The Wrap right here on the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel. Happy Tuesday to you all as we're back here to recap the week so far in WWE as the road to WrestleMania 42 continues. I'm Keila Cash, and by my side, as always, is my co-captain, my right hand, my ride or die, someone who is here, back, freshly shaved as a babyface. But does he have babyface tendencies? I highly doubt it. We're going to get a heel turn at some point during this live stream, but we'll move anyway. But I bring to you back on the wrap, as always, the one, the only, fresh baby face, heelish, Salty Scott Young. Welcome back, Salty.
Thank you for having me, Keila. As always, it's a pleasure to chop it up and talk all things WWE. I'm excited about the conversation we're going to have. And I'm looking forward to it. I apologize about last week. That was completely on me. But we're back this week, and it was a pretty decent Raw.
Pretty decent Raw. We've missed the last couple of weeks. I do want to shout out Fernando in the chat if he's still awake, because I do wonder last week, because we left you hanging a little bit. I just want to know, how long did you stay in the chat before you just said, I'm going to bed? And we apologize for the inconvenience last week. We really, really do. We are so sorry. It's all Scott's fault. I hold him personally responsible, and he'll pay for any sleeping time you lost.
Listen, I can send you some NyQuil, whatever you need. I can FedEx it right to you. Okay, make up for it.
NyQuil. That's a lovely gift. They have ZQuil now that you just drink to go to sleep. So,
see, I don't know about that. Is that anything that's going to knock you out like that? Because I need to be able to wake up when I need to, too. So, I don't know. The NyQuil, you can wake up from some NyQuil, but some ZQuil, I don't know about that one.
ZQuil, it will probably knock you out. Will you wake back up on time? I honestly do not know, but it's a thing. They run ads for it all the time. I'm scared to drink it because I do not want to take something that will put me in a deep sleep, and I do not know when I'm going to wake up. That is my biggest fear. And they act like it's a Robitussin. The hell it is. It is something that will knock me out, and I don't trust it.
Yeah, I'm with that. Just give me a glass of milk. That's all I need. Glass of nice whole milk. I should be good to go. What's up, David?
All righty. Hi, David. Hi, Fernando. Hopefully you're still with us. If not, then we will see you next week. And then Curryhead is here, and he is one of the ride or dies of the Fight Game Media Network YouTube channel. I see him with Powerbomb shows every Sunday. I see him in the Dynamite chat as well. And he had to know my spirit and my heart tonight, and yours as well, because one of my favorite things happened tonight. Oba did it for the culture.
Or Seth Rollins paid him. But either way, it works out for us. So I'll take it.
For the culture, listen, this is reparation season. Kofi went on the timeline and said, listen, hey, if you can do me a solid and basically make up for what happened to me several years ago on SmackDown, the very first SmackDown on Fox, I'll greatly appreciate it. So Thanos him, do what you must. And then, of course, he knows I hate QT Marshall. So can we get Oba versus QT Marshall? If I can get what I got tonight from Oba to QT, let's do it. I'm all for it.
Nah, because that means one of two things happen. Either WWE lost Oba and he's in AEW, or WWE got QT. Neither one of those things need to happen. So I'm good. Unless it happens in Triple A.
Triple A. Fancy with the rolling of the tongue. Triple A. All righty. So since we've been gone, like Kelly Clarkson, since we've been gone, I can breathe for the first time. And a lot of things have happened in the NBA specifically. And I know Scott's going to deride me for what I'm about to do in a moment, but I don't care. But let's get to the West first, shall we? So in the West, things remain pretty steady. Some people have moved up. Some people have moved down. Some people are stagnant. Some people are down, down, down. But here are the standings as they stand right now. Number 1 right now is the Thunder, who are 53-15. The Spurs, number 2, 49-18. Number 3, the Los Angeles Lakers, who are 43-25, 9-1 in their last 10 games. Then we have the Rockets, number 4, on a little slide lately, averaging 500 as they're 41-26. The Nuggets, number 5, 41-27, tied with the Timberwolves, who are also 41-27. And then our play-in teams are the Suns, 39-29, the Clippers, 34-33, the Warriors, 33-35, and the Trailblazers, 33-36. So, Scott, your thoughts on the standings in the West?
The Lakers, man, we on a roll right now. LeBron got that arthritis taken care of. Luka and AR is starting to gel. It's looking real good right now. Beat the Rockets tonight. Real happy with what's going on right now in the Western Conference with the Lakers. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident we can play with anybody right now.
Well, enjoy that confidence. Remember where you were last year and what happened. You said Lakers in 5, and you were right.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers in 5 going home. So let's see if history will repeat itself, or maybe you will do a bit better this year. We shall see. But I will never let you forget what you said and how it all came back to backfire on you at the end of the day.
Well, I was right. So regardless of how you look at it, I was right. All I said was Lakers in 5.
No.
So.
You do not get to take it back and say what I meant to say was they'll lose in 5. No, you were very adamant, very cocky on this year air, talking about how it's going to be the Lakers in 5.
And I stand by it this year. Whoever they play first round, Lakers in 5.
All right. So because we're going live every week, I want the people to remember this. And when they lose, and they will, and we go live, I want all of you to let Scott know what he said. Lakers in 5 again. And then they lost in 5. Or
I hope we get Minnesota again this year.
Oh, look at you tempting fate and temptation.
Yeah.
Look at you jinxing yourself 2 years in a row. Shame on you. And then in the East.
Oh, this is what I was waiting for.
I know this is what you're waiting for because there is happy news here for me. And let's get to the top teams in the East. The Pistons are still number 1. They are 48-19. Been on a bit of a slide lately. They're 5-5 in their last 10. Number 2 are the Celtics with a returning Jason Tatum, who are 45-23. The Knicks, number 3, 44-25. The Cavaliers, number 4, 41-27. The Orlando Magic, 38-29 in the 5 spot. The Raptors, 38-29. The Miami Heat at number 7, 38-30. My Atlanta Hawks on a hot streak, 10 wins in a row as of tonight. They're 37-31, 8th in the East. And in the 9 spot, we have the 76ers, 37-31, right there with the Hawks. And the Hornets are 34-34 in the 10 spot.
Yeah, that's cool. But let's talk about what's really important. It's a shame I missed last week because I really wanted to talk about how Atlanta decided to cancel the most popular thing they have going on in their city, Magic City Night. So I attribute that to the winning streak. You take away Magic City, and what do you know? They just start winning games.
First of all, we did not make that decision. The league made the decision for us because we were all in on Lou Williams Lemon Pepper Wings night with Magic City tonight against the Orlando Magic. The synergy, the branding was on point. We had hoodies made. T.I. was performing at halftime. We had everything planned out. And then they said, no, it's too real. Like the audacity. The strippers were not going to be there.
Yeah, they were.
No, they weren't. You can go to the after party. You can
get right there in the locker room.
No, they would listen. You can drive down to Magic City after the game is over and enjoy yourself and enjoy the wings, the women. Have a time. Have a time.
All I know is that once they canceled that Magic City, next thing you know, the Hawks start rolling. So I don't know if it coincides or not. But that's cool. You know what? It'll be really nice for you guys to experience the playoffs, and this is probably the longest winning streak y'all have had in about 6-7 years. So good for y'all. Good for y'all. Pat on the back, golf clap. Good for y'all.
You know what? I almost believe your sincerity. It almost came from the heart. And I almost appreciate you for that. It has been a long time, winning 10 games in a row, climbing out of the basement to be a play-in team. And actually, the play-in teams look pretty competitive this year for the East. I mean, should be some fun matchups, depending how it goes. And knowing in the East, you can still climb up the ranks, get in the 6th spot before the season's over. So the Hawks are on a hot streak. It's very possible. With time remaining, it's very possible. Listen, the 76ers are like in ninth place right now.
No, what's crazy is you guys are on a 10-game winning streak, and we're in 9th place when you started the 10-game winning streak, and are still in 9th place after the 10-game winning streak.
At least we moved up. Now, people made the joke too, like we moved nowhere, but now we've moved to the 8th spot. It took us 10 games to get some forward momentum, okay? It did. It did.
Oh. No, all seriousness, I'm really happy for Jonathan Kuminga. Like, I'm glad he's found himself a home. They let that man go, let him be free. So, and y'all I like Jalen Johnson a lot. So, yeah, no, that's cool. Y'all, that's good for y'all. You get to that 7th spot, the six or 7. One of you ain't got to worry about the play-in.
No, like 6 will make me very comfy. Could we get to 6? I don't know. People got to fall apart in the next 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know. But I feel optimistic about being in the 8th spot. I do. I feel hopeful about what we could do there. But Fernando's laughing, yes, his lemon pepper wings are legendary. The kitchen is very popular at Magic City, as well as the dancers. It's twofold. You're going to get a good meal, and you're going to get a great show. And Fernando calls out your Lakers, saying the Lakers still are not ready for Ant-Man. I agree, Fernando. They ain't ready. They ain't ready. They weren't ready last year.
Yeah, that was last year. Luka the Don is in shape this year. AR is ready to go. Luke Cornett is here. Marcus Smart. We got difference makers this year. We ready to go. This is a different Lakers team. Okay. I got full confidence in. We're at least getting out the first round. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah, and then I see Fernando noting that Atlanta knew what they were doing when they traded Trae Young. Yeah, they knew it was time. Trae wanted to go for quite some time, and now he went to the Wizards, where you allowed Bam to hit 83 last Tuesday.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. That was nasty work, but just good on Atlanta, man. Good on y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate your half-hearted support and appreciation. And NBA TV, of all places, have decided to bump the Warriors off of NBA TV because the more sexy matchup this Friday is going to be the Hawks versus the Houston Rockets.
That'll actually probably be a really good game.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm sorry, my Warriors, but you're not worthy of an NBA TV spot on a Friday night during March Madness. My condolences to you. I need Steph to sit home. Good. I need Steph to sit home for the rest of the year. Like, don't even bother to coming back. Don't even bother. Yes,
they did, Fernando.
We did.
Yeah, they don't have a clue what they got. They don't have a clue what they doing down there in Atlanta. Not a clue. They just doing stuff just to do it.
Now, listen. Granted, we did make a boo-boo, but who made the biggest boo-boo? Dallas. They made the biggest boo-boo of all. They made a trade, and now they have no one to show for it in hindsight. Whose fault is that?
They got Cooper. They got Cooper because of that.
Yeah, but look who you got rid of. You thought getting rid of Luka and getting Anthony Davis as your answer alongside Kyrie, please.
I mean, the Anthony Davis thing didn't work out, but the Cooper Flag thing might end up working out real well for them, especially if they get a good draft pick this year too. Yeah, they'll be all right.
If they have the balls bounce their way, we shall see heading into the draft in a few months' time. But enough NBA yakety yak, enough talk. We caught up on all of that jazz. let's get to some WWE discussions. As the road to WrestleMania is upon us, we are a little over a month away before we go back to Las Vegas again for WrestleManias night 1 and 2. And Scott, we got to talk about something that happened. Why we were gone that we did not get a chance to discuss. Road Dogg has been replaced by AI.
Listen, man, I don't want to cheer nobody losing their job, but needed, and now Ryan Ward's going to get all the blame for everything else that goes wrong. But yeah, the writing was on the wall once he told Triple H, I don't even want to pitch none because everything I pitch is some nonsense and some BS. So yeah. Sorry, Road Dogg. It was about that time.
You know, he had a very long run. Was it a good run for him to get paid? Absolutely. It was a great run for him to get his dollars. What a time to be alive for him. And Fernando.
We laughing. It might happen. We laughing. Billy Gunn is right there. So like,
listen. Anthony is on a hot streak. I got to call him by his full name. Anthony is on a hot streak. If he lets this happen, we might have to close the doors. Close the doors.
You didn't know?
Oh, he better know. Don't you do that. Listen, close company down. Open the schools if that happens. I beg of thee, please. Lord doth in heaven, please, I beg. So, there we go.
I'm not ruling it out. At least on a collision.
God, not on a collision. Not even no. Let's not manifest that. So we're going to prevent that from happening. But let's get to some female empowerment in WWE. Some female writers have been upgraded to lead writer, lead producer of Monday Night Raw. I love that as we add some semblance of diversity in that writer's room, to have some different voices in there versus the old heads that have been around for such a long time. And during WrestleMania season, when things are not exactly clicking creatively, it might be time to do a complete overhaul of what you've been doing. And I'm all for it. I do see a little bit of a shift in terms of the presentation of Monday Night Raw the last couple of weeks. We need some of that loving over on SmackDown and some key feuds. But I do feel the sense they're trying. But at the same time, it might be a little bit too late for this year's WrestleMania season, that we might need to reset heading into the summer fully, because, yeah, this is a stretch of time in WWE. They got to kind of reconsider some things and how they handle some stuff. And because I know that Unreal is going to be the most unreal season when it drops in 2027 to explain this year's build to WrestleMania.
I'll be completely honest with you. It's honestly all year since they decided to go back. This has just kind of felt like the mania to get to Saudi Mania. And that's just how that's how it's felt to me. Like, this mania is not as important as last year's, and it's not as important as next year's. It's just happened to be here. And the way things are going, Saudi Mania might be in a little bit of trouble too. So this definitely just felt like a roadblock to get to next year's. Even Paul Heyman was talking about, we got to start planning for next year's WrestleMania. So the fact that the build and stuff feels lacking honestly doesn't surprise me, because it feels like this was always just kind of a WrestleMania in the middle of two more important WrestleManias. That's just how it felt to me from the jump.
I agree. I feel like a gap year, because we know this is the last real WrestleMania for 2 years. And Saudi Mania, if it happens, it's just going to be a show of old people getting paid millions of dollars to main event. God. I hate it here. And it's double, oh God, if you know. David has some of the amazing rumors that just sound so unbelievable.
This man said Brenda and Brianna are hella names right there for the
Triple
twins.
B's, triple B's, triple B's.
But I will say, hey, but Saudi Mania was gonna have some. I will say this: it may just be a show, but it's gonna have some name value to it. They're gonna fork out some money.
Oh
There's gonna be
yes.
some money thrown around, and there's gonna be
Mhm.
some names there. The name value will definitely be there. I think this year's match quality could be very good. Like I think this could be a very good wrestling card. Next year's is going to be more of a spectacle type card. Feels like.
Yeah. And that's why they have to make amends domestically with their shows after Mania to make up for whatever's going to happen over there. Because as you said, big names are going to be big names. They're going to be paid so much money to perform at WrestleMania. It's going to be ridiculous. This year's WrestleMania, do I dare say it could be a great wrestling card? Oh,
It should be.
it should be.
The matches they have lined up, it should be. Like the two big matches, I'm very excited for, especially after last Friday. I think they've done a really good job of setting the table for the two main event matches. And everything else that is kind of lined up, it should be good to great wrestling on the card.
They got to stick the landing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Give them time. But it seems like we're going to get about 8 matches each card. So I'm curious to see how much time is going to be given because, they like to do a whole lot of other stuff besides wrestling. They got performances and you got interviews and all this other stuff. So I'm curious to see how much time these matches are going to get.
Yeah, I wonder that too. I want to be hopeful because everything's been so bungled so far, and it feels like it reminds me of like WrestleMania 19 in Seattle, where it's gonna be one of these sleeper WrestleManias that don't get a lot of love until like years later, and say, "Wow, that was a really amazing WrestleMania." That might be this year's WrestleMania because of the build and how so it's been, and then it over delivers at the end of the day, and we shall see if it does. I'm trying to be hopeful. But as Fernando says, match placement is going to be very important. And if they can handle that and build it up with especially the ESPN hours at 6 to at least give people an appetizer for the main show, then hopefully they can pace the show properly and give the people a good show with some surprises that make sense.
Yeah, I'm not holding my breath on any big surprises, but I agree with you on like you probably need to put on one of your better wrestling matches on those first couple hours that you're giving away on ESPN. Like I think those should be like the match tonight, like the Penta Dragon Lee, like something in that realm needs to be on your free kind of to get those last few people to be like, you know what, I will tune in this year. So especially for those non-people who aren't watching anyway, those are the kind of matches you want to give away for free if you're going to do it. I think.
Exactly. Well, let's dive into Monday Night Raw, which went down from the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio, Texas. Ironically, I'm watching the Spurs right now in the last few seconds against the Clippers, and they're winning. They're at the Intuit Dome, so they were not home tonight as Monday Night Raw took over their home arena. And we are a little over a month away until WrestleMania. And we kick things off with Seth Rollins and the Putty Patrol.
You called them the Putty Patrol. I thought it was more of the Foot Clan, but Putty Patrol works too. I was thinking Seth Rollins was just a manifestation of Shredder and he had his Foot Clan, but I'll take the Putty Patrol too. I'm with it. I'm with it.
To keep the theme of the Power Rangers. That's all I saw. Listen, either they were going to be the Putty Patrol or the Tango Warriors. It's going to be one of the two.
First of all, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, they're not the Tango Warriors. But the Putty Patrol, the only thing is they need a little symbol on their chest, something they can go after and punch it so they can explode into 8 different pieces. That's the only thing they were missing.
Yeah. So the Putty Patrol and Seth came out there, and Seth was like, listen, I created the vision and I alone am going to kill it. Anyone that stands in my way, you will be dealt with. I already took care of Paul Heyman when I stumped his face in a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. And Paul Heyman, shockingly enough, comes back looking like he just came out from the depths of hell. Bloodshot eyes. He's unshaven. He's just looking horrible. He's in tears. And he's talking about how you're going to F around and find out. And you're going to F around and find out. And then you're going to F5 around and find out, which leads to Brock Lesnar coming out. And Brock comes out there, doesn't trip and falls, doesn't split his pants, thankfully. And he comes out there and he wipes out a dozen Putty Patrol people. And he suplexes them, throws them around. He makes them runs away. He just destroys them. So Seth is all by his lonesome. And it is apparently true that Seth technically is not clear to compete just yet. He can only do stumps, non-contact, of course. So this leads to someone making the save. And that person is Obafemi. And the fans are going crazy. And Brock is looking at Oba. And Oba is saying, you will die tonight. I don't care who you are, you're going to die. And Seth's in the cut like, well, I ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm safe. And so Seth looks at Brock and says, well, this ain't my fight. Have a good night. So he leaves the ring and Brock charges after Obafemi. And what we witnessed next was quite possibly one of the greatest moments in Monday Night Raw history. Obafemi, God among men himself, is going to hoist Brock Lesnar high in the air with the greatest of ease. He lifts him so high, Michael Cole forgets where he is as he delivers Fall of Man. And Michael Cole says, holy shit. The fans are going crazy. The visual of Obafemi basically yeeting this man up in the air and throwing him down with the quickness. The pop of the crowd was incredible. The sell job by Michael Cole and Corey Graves was incredible as they were just in awe, standing in shock at what they just saw. And Oba put his boot on Brock's chest, pointed at the WrestleMania sign and said, bet you and me at WrestleMania. And it is made official. It will be Oba versus Brock at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. I'm so glad they did not tease this for like another 4 weeks. Let's get to it right now. Oba's the guy, and you have to make Oba at WrestleMania. And what a way to do it via this opening salvo with Oba putting Brock on his behind.
Yeah, lots of really like here. And, you know, there's a lot of threads that you can throw around here. You can have Seth Rollins come out and interfere if you want, but he probably doesn't need to. Oba getting like, and one thing I think people really forget about Brock Lesnar is that this man really knows how to sell when he wants to, and really knows how to make someone look great when he wants to. And I think he wants to make Oba look great. He's not doing that for anybody. Like, he's not doing that for just anybody. So I think this is going to be a really good match, a hoss battle. Like this is reminiscent of what he did for Keith Lee. I mean, he did a ton for Keith Lee in about 30 seconds when Keith Lee just ran him over. He made Omos seem like the monster that he was. He beat him, but he made him seem like the monster that Omos is. Like, people forget how good Brock is because Brock just decides to toss people, and that's all he wants to do. Then he wants to go home. When Brock wants to work, he can work. I think we're going to get Brock in his working shoes. I'm very excited. They did this about as well as you could. People kind of expected Brock to come in and help Paul Heyman with the Seth Rollins thing, and then you throw Oba in and you're connecting all these different threads. You make Oba seem just more important and just as dominant. So if he does beat Brock at WrestleMania, I mean, the next logical step is either CM Punk or Roman Reigns to follow. So I think it's a great way to start the show. And honestly, you don't have to do anything the rest of this build except have them show up face to face and have them just kill people on the way there.
I'm all for it. Like, this is like the anointing of Obafemi. You have to crown him as champion before the end of the year, preferably before the end of the summer, quite frankly, because if you're trying to make somebody, this is how you do it. For years, Brock has run over so many people, but at the same time, and we can say a lot about Brock Lesnar, the person who I do not like at all at this juncture, at this time in his career. But professionally speaking, when he wants to put someone over, he would do it. He did it for Drew McIntyre 6 years ago at the Royal Rumble. That elimination remains iconic because of how he sold it and how Drew just stared that man down and said, I got rid of you. And what? And that set up the main event for WrestleMania. Even during a pandemic, it set it up perfectly at the time. You think about what Brock did for Goldberg when he came back to WWE 10 years ago this year. He allowed Goldberg to beat him in 86 seconds. In 86 seconds, he got Goldberg over to basically undo 10 years of effed up booking when he was in WWE prior. And then we get like this 5-minute smash match at WrestleMania in Orlando 9 years ago. That was very fun. And I know you make fun of me because it was Megazord versus Dragon Zord. That's what it was. That's what it was. For 5 good minutes, that's what it was.
Real good, though.
It was real good. I had a great time. I enjoyed myself. So Brock knows when to turn it on and get other people over. And I think this match is going to be great. Brock is still athletic. He's still big. He can still do incredible things, even though he's older. And Oba, we know, is a freak of nature. And he's going to go out there and ball out. But I think this is going to be a star-making performance for Oba as he ascends. And they know what they have in him because look at who he's facing at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and Fernando, you brought up a good point. Like just like you were talking about Drew and Eddie Guerrero. Seth Rollins is in there too. Seth Rollins beat him at WrestleMania. And then they wanted to redo it to make sure people remembered, and he beat him again at SummerSlam. So, like I said, Brock will put over the people that he believed. Cody Rhodes is another one. So I think it's going to happen. This is, like you said, this is big for Oba. It seemed like the plan was Braun Breaker was going to be the next guy, but if you beat a Brock Lesnar, I mean, there is no next logical step except the world title.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You got to go straight to the championship.
Park Place and Boardwalk.
Period.
That's it.
Listen, look at you going for the biggest houses on the board.
That's Brock Lesnar's Park Place, Roman Reigns' Boardwalk. You just got to go knock them out just real quick. It's got to be your next destination.
What, you don't want to go to Electric Station?
Nah, I'm good. I'm good on all the train places. I'm good on all the utilities. Skipping all that.
You don't want a $50 house? You really don't? You don't?
I'm good on Continental. I'm good on all those.
You don't want to go on Broadway? Broadway's pretty decent.
No Illinois Avenue, none of that stuff. Park Place and Boardwalk. That's the only way. That's the only place I'm going.
Okay, I love it. You're expensive and bougie. Like, give me all of my hotels there on this property. I love that for you.
Ain't no 4 houses, just straight hotels. No, I'm not buying a house. 2 hotels off top.
So I don't worry about rent. I worry about getting this money off this hotel. Okay. And luxury tax, by the way. Luxury tax is a beautiful thing. If you can get it. Oh my God, not a Monopoly reference, but that's us. It's what we do here because Scott thinks lavishly. He doesn't think cheaply, okay? He's like, I don't care about waterworks, care about that. But in all seriousness, happy for Oba. Love this segment. What a way to get him over. Perfection outside of the Putty Patrol. Now, our next match is the original El Grande Americano versus the El Grande Americano. This match was perfectly fine. I felt like in some spots it was a little off between both guys. Wasn't clean as I would like it to be, but we had Rio and Bravo play a role in the end of the match by loading the mask of El Grande Americano, and the original headbutted the loaded mask of El Grande, and El Grande pinned El Grande, and we did not get a mask reveal. So I'm thinking to myself, what was the point of this match? I thought maybe we could save it for WrestleMania. That would be a logical conclusion. But no, we just have them have a match and El Grande Americano wins.
I don't know what they got going on. I don't know. I have no clue what the plan is for them at WrestleMania. Maybe their big plan is going to be Triple A. So I could see, the El Grande Dark going over to Triple I, challenging Dominic Mysterio, two massive baby faces over there going head to head at the biggest. Like that would be a WrestleMania-esque weekend Triple I show that would, main event. As far as here, maybe it's time for Chad to lose the mask. It seems like the gimmick has passed him and it's on someone now and who's honestly making the most of it is the biggest baby face in Triple I besides probably Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, like Chad's facial hair is crazy. Like he's not even trying to use an accent. He's just Chad Gable in a lucha mask. Let's unmask him. Let him be a wrestling machine. Let him be who he's meant to be and let him cook. The fans want to love Chad Gable. And Chad Gable has a great untold story of not winning the Intercontinental Championship. That is a great story for him to be on if you let Chad Gable be Chad Gable. Ludwig Kaiser has taken this gimmick as El Grande Americano and made it his own. The man has learned fluent Spanish. God bless Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. They play their roles to perfection, even though it saddens me. But they're getting a check every week and they're giving it their all. I can't knock it. It's so funny to me. We have European men playing luchadors, and they're over in Mexico, and they're beloved, and they're appreciated, and they probably are going to root for him to win that AAA Mega Championship from Dominic Mysterio when that time comes. And I think, honestly, they should let him win because he's so over, and he's really worked hard to be a part of that culture, to understand it, to respect it, and to get over in AAA.
Yeah, and honestly, it feels like Chad Gable is like maybe it could just be the beard, but it feels like Chad Gable has a Daniel Bryan Team Hell No s type run in him right now. Because right after he was in Team Hell No, like that was when the whole yes movement and Daniel Bryan really started. Like that's when it picked up. That's when he got the most over, it felt like, because he was doing these incredible hot tags and stuff like that. It feels like Chad Gable has a run like that in him where he can really either go back to a tag team or he can just be by himself and just start really running through people and getting over. I think that's the next step. Like you said, that Intercontinental title story is right there for him. Dominic Mysterio's or Penta, him versus Penta would be a banger of a match. And yeah, I just think he's got a Daniel Bryan-esque run in him. Maybe not world title level, but definitely to that IC title level.
Yeah, and to get over with the people at the same time who would want to love him and appreciate him because he's so great. He's so great. He's got the charisma to pull it off as well. So hopefully they unmask him and let him be Chad Gable again and let El Grande do his thing as El Grande. As Fernando notes, as a Mexican, I'm a little confused as to why El Grande Americano is popular in AAA because he's embraced the culture and he's great. He's charismatic and he mastered the language. He's not putting on a front. He acts like he's a legitimate luchador who has respect for the art form. That's why they love him. And first of all, Ludwig just got it. Just got the swag and the sauce, man, to do anything to get over.
Yeah. Not a lot of people can slide in the DMs and still get away with it. So, and still have a job there, especially people he chose to do it with. So, shout out to Ludwig, man. You made the most of what you got.
First of all, these are allegations. Allegedly that happened. Allegedly.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Listen, let me go on record. Let me go on record because I'm messy. Let me go on the record. And when I tell you, when he told the world who his favorite wrestler was and did not name his then girlfriend, I said, oh, there's trouble in paradise. You just hopscotched her and chose EO.
And you say allegedly. Yeah, okay. Okay. She didn't say that just for no reason. Especially after she just took that first shot. She was like, oh, word? You do know what happened, right? So, okay, allegedly. Okay, allegedly.
We have to put in air quotes. Okay. Allegedly, at the time, allegedly, that was the word on the street. But I don't believe that. Now, a short time later, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's what I knew something was up when you don't name your woman as your favorite wrestler. Like, something going on up in here. And sure enough, when they didn't move in the same house, something was going on. And now they both moved on. And I'm happy for both of them. May they have happy new relationships with their peeps. Blessings. Maybe we see them ball out.
She is, to be honest with you.
Listen, well, we'll see them at the Hall of Fame ceremony on the red carpet, posing with their new booze. That's the best I got.
Yep.
It's the best I got. Soft launching at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Can't be mad at it.
Instead of WWE doing this Unreal show, they need to be doing some type of Total Divas thing. Because let me tell you, there's some tea that can be spilt. There's some tea that can be shown. They really want to do some drama. The real women of WWE.
Get Jade and Chelsea in a room. That should be blockbuster.
Oh God!
I tell you the truth. Oh boy!
Look, I'm gonna tell you what, Jade. I'm as big a fan of Jade as you can get, but Jade needs to be careful because you're not beating up everybody. Okay, you can probably beat up Chelsea. You're not beating up everybody.
You're not, but at the same time, she hurt feelings deeply, deep feelings, and only a few will be spared.
She did.
Alrighty, so that was El Grande versus El Grande. May the feud continue as we get to probably one of my favorite matches from someone who's come back in WWE. It was AJ Lee versus Bayley for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And I got to say this, AJ Lee has been back for a few months and she's had a grand total of 3 matches now, number 4. This was her most comfortable she's been in the ring since coming back. There's still rust there, but I thought she was so comfortable in the ring last night against Bayley. Bayley's great per the usual, but AJ was just on it. And she just felt like this is the AJ that I knew all these years ago. They just had a good command, a feel of the action, a feel of the flow of the match. And it was really good for what it was. And Bayley, of course, was aggressive when she needed to be. And I love the story of Michael Cole talking about how Bayley views AJ as a friend. She's being tentative. She's not really laying it in the way that she should. And at some point, you got to wake up, pick up the tempo and the pace. And she did. And things did get physical towards the end, which I enjoyed. And then when AJ locked in the Black Widow, and I mean, she locked it in and she wrenched that arm back, Bayley had no choice but to tap out. Really, really, really enjoyed this match. AJ's best outing since coming back to WWE. And then after the match is over, we have Becky Lynch attack AJ during commercial, bleeds back to the live show, and she gets the heat, as I presume we're getting once again AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the IC title at WrestleMania next month.
Yeah, this is what the 4 horsewomen do, man. You can't really have a bad match with them. And if you do, then you need to probably go back to the drawing board. So good on AJ Lee for being able to have a good match with a great wrestler like Bayley. There's only like good on her to have a good match. I'm kind of over the AJ Lee thing they got going on. I'm not confident she could have this type of match with anybody. I think they're very careful about who they're pairing her up with. But it still takes 2 to tango. She still held her own. She did what she was supposed to do. But I am curious as to who, like, it's very obvious that they're being very careful about who they pair her up with.
Yeah, but she brought it
No
last
doubt.
night. She brought it. Like, I can tell when somebody's being led to a good match. She wasn't being led. And she was in firm control, and Bayley was right there, and it was equal footing. And I can tell when somebody's comfortable and they feel good and they feel like, I got command of this. And it's going to take some time. We have to remember 10 years off. This is match number 4. For what I saw, this is the best she's looked since coming back. And that's a testament to her knowing your opponent, that you can't half step. And I knew that she wouldn't against Bayley. That's a really good friend of hers. But she showed up tonight, and it wasn't Bayley holding her hand and we're going to do this and we're going to do that and I'm going to lead you here. AJ from that opening bell had command of that match, and Bailey met the moment too. And I cannot knock that at all.
No, you're right. Respect to AJ Lee for that. I'm probably just a hater. I'm just ready to move on from it. I hope Becky Lynch snaps that arm.
Well, you know what? You are a wishful thinker, and that's great for you because you have to have something to believe in. And I do love that for you, but you're wrong. And that's okay. That's okay. We're going to get you through it. It's all right. We're going to hold your hand, lead you to water. It's all right. It's okay. You're going to cope. It's all right. But we're moving on to our next segment. And my favorite match of the night, Penta versus Dragon Lee for the Intercontinental Championship. My goodness. So apparently, WWE was watching AEW Revolution, and they said, well, let's give the people something to look forward to in San Antonio. So they gave them this match, and it really speaks to how much they love Penta. They're giving him more promo time, which I love because he's so passionate on the microphone. Just love that for him. Just engages the crowd every time he's on the mic. And Dragon Lee is up to stock in terms of his work in the ring as of late, not only in AAA, but on Monday Night Raw with the tag team with AJ Styles, and then with Gunther's, and then his match with Gunther a few weeks ago. So he's been standing out in a good way. And they just let them ball out for a good 15 minutes. I enjoyed it. The high flying, the counters, the reversals, the transitions, Dragon Lee flying, landing the tope on the outside on the announce desk to Penta, and then trying to get back in the ring to get the victory with the Operation Dragon to no avail. And then Penta out of nowhere, snap Canadian Destroyer or Mexican Destroyer for the victory. I really enjoyed this match. Penta is just that guy. They struck gold with someone that is so charismatic and so good in the ring that you can't fumble. And I look forward to him having a multi-man match at WrestleMania, preferably if we have like a ladder involved for this championship. Why not?
Yeah, this is the type of match, like I mentioned earlier, this is the type of match that you want to put on ESPN when you have that free viewing little party that they got going on before WrestleMania. This was fantastic. I definitely think this puts to bed the idea of of the brothers versus brothers for the tag titles.
Yeah.
But there still is hope that we could get a Penta versus Rey Fenix match at WrestleMania, which would be really cool too. But yeah, can't really ask for much more. Dragon Lee, if he's not going to be involved in main stories, then let that man just ball out like he did tonight. Penta getting some more screen time, some extra pyro, promo time. They seem to be they've been invested in him since he first debuted, but now there seems to be kind of a reignition in as far as his push and the gas they put behind him. So I'm excited for it. I'm curious to see what his path is for WrestleMania, because it seems like they're doing the same with Carmelo Hayes and the U.S. title as far as, what type of match he's going to have. So, hell, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing them two face each other either. I think that would be a great match, champion versus champion. So there's a lot they could do. But for tonight, that's probably my match of the night.
Yeah, mine too. Might be mine as well. Really good stuff. Penta is incredible. And the pyro, this man has Cody Rhodes' level of pyro budget now. This man got pyro coming to the ring. He got more pyro in the ring. This man has pyro everywhere, and I love that for him. And it speaks to WWE liking him so much. We're going to up your presentation even more with more pinwheel pyro.
Yeah, that man must be selling some merch.
Yes.
Either that or they'll be able to kick Rey Mysterio out the door. It's one of the two, because they're really getting behind this man.
Which is a rarity. They've been saying for 1,000 years, we need to find our new Mexican star. Well, you have him now. His name is Penta. There is your answer. Brother. You got him and his brother. You got Dragon Lee. You got 3 Mexicans and El Grande, who's an adopted Mexican. So you got 4 of them. And you got Dirty Dom. That's 5 of them. So I don't want to hear you say, where's our next Mexican star? Well, you have 5 of them to choose from. 1 is an adopted Mexican.
And 1 is not adopted, but still tries. So you got plenty to choose from.
And the fact is, it's interchangeable. That's the funny part. Like, it's interchangeable both ways as to who could be the adopted sixth luchador.
There you go.
There we go. David, I actually have to circle back to a David comment. He would want to see Lola Vice versus Jade for the championship.
I don't know about for the title, but I wouldn't mind seeing Lola. I think Lola Vice is about time for her to get called up anyway. But yeah, I don't know if that's the best thing for either one of them. As far as I just don't know how well that match would go.
Yeah, I love Lola. I think she should get called up very, very soon. She's done all she could do in NXT. Call Lola up. Call her up. She's ready. She's more than ready. I will not talk about your girl, KJ. We won't leave that alone. But solid underground match at Vengeance Day.
I just enjoyed watching her get knocked out. So,
and she sold it beautifully when she got knocked out. She went for a gymnastic move and got knocked the fuck out. I love that for me.
I loved it too. Love to see it. Kalani Boredom on the ground, passed out. Loved it.
Stop it. The KJ agenda will be won over by the end of the year. I believe that in my heart. I'm going to stump on that campaign for sure. Trying my best over here. As we get to a match that I did not have any desire to see ever again, but they decided why not? It was Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez. And it was perfectly fine. I was not moved by the announcement of this match initially on the socials. And then I saw it. I was like, you know what? It's all right. Better than your last match, which was a little bit of a struggle when they had the hardcore rules attached to it. It was I. It was I for what it was. We had Liv Morgan at ringside causing distractions, which leads to Io Sky coming out because, as we know, last week Raquel beat down Io, which cost her the gauntlet match in the end to face AJ for the IC title this week on Monday Night Raw. And in doing so, Io Sky tries to go after Raquel, and then Liv intervenes, which causes Raquel to pounce Io against the announce table. And Stephanie chucks Liv over the barricade, and then she rolls up Raquel for the victory. So good win for Stephanie. And we are building up to WrestleMania with Stephanie versus Liv for the Women's World Championship. And meanwhile, Io, we don't know yet. There has been rumblings of her facing Asuka and Kairi in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I'm all for that because give those Joshis the time to shine and kick ass and give us a Stardom special. I would not be mad at it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Io just becoming another wrestler on the roster when there was a point in time. Actually, she probably still is one of the top 3 over people, females on the roster. So I'm not a fan of her just becoming another wrestler. Is what it seems like. Like she shouldn't just be getting pounced out the scene and stuff like that. Like if she comes out, she should be making the difference. She should be handling her own. So I'm not a big fan of that, but it feels like right now we're just kind of spinning wheels with Stephanie and Liv, trying to get to that finish line. The match should be good, but it just feels like we're spinning wheels right now.
We are. And when you have 30 plus days to go, you're going to be spinning wheels for a few weeks where you ramp things up. And then Liv took credit for Finn's excommunication from the Judgment Day, saying that I never trusted you. I knew how you was looking at me. I didn't believe you. I can tell when you were lying to me. So we took care of business. And we have JD going singles, going after his own championship ambitions. Dirty Dom, still AAA mega champion, has his own ambitions to be IC champion once again. Raquel's future women's champion. I'm going to win the championship at WrestleMania. But notably absent from this conversation was one Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't think too much of it. I think because I don't see Roxanne turning babyface. The money is in Liv becoming the babyface of the group, but we'll see. What I think it was more so just out of sight, out of mind. So then when she does come back, it's a big surprise. That's how I took it.
We shall see for sure. And then let's get to our main event segment of the night, Roman Reigns. So Roman shows up in a very basic vehicle Am I crazy? Or was that a basic ride he had last night? A basic whip, not an SUV, but a basic whip.
Well, they were in San Antonio, so
He said he just called an Uber. I just need like
it
the
wasn't the XL,
economy
it was just the
ride.
regular. Yeah.
Just not the XL, just regular. I'm just here for comfort. Comfort, solo ride, no ride share with other people, just me. Give me good leg room. That's all that I need. No XL, no extra room. I'm good there. So he was on a budget last night, surprisingly so. And the Usos greeted him. He was very proud of them for standing up for the family, demanding an apology from CM Punk after CM Punk talked about Roman's father a couple of weeks ago. And he's like, well, I'm going to have the entire family demand an apology. And you are owed one. And you can get it at WrestleMania, during and after the matchup, whatever you want to do, you are owed an apology for the family. And so later in the show, we have them have the same conversation about family and CM Punk needing to apologize. And Roman saying, I'm tired of people judging me for being a part time wrestler. Listen, I want to be a full time father and husband. That is my role. We earned that, haven't we? I'm not going to be like my dad, who I love very much, but he was not present in my life because he was always on the road all the time, sacrificing for the family. How long did Rikishi stay on the road? For the family. So I know I've earned the right to sit home, chill out, be a family man for my family. And if anybody shuns me for that, whatever, it doesn't faze me in the least. So this leads to him coming out, and he tells San Antonio to acknowledge him. And he knows what times it is. He knows what time it is. He calls out CM Punk, and CM Punk comes out, and they proceed to have a conversation. And it is a conversation about part-time this, part-time that, and how nothing CM Punk says really gets under Roman's skin. Like, what you're saying right now is old hat. I've heard it all before, and this doesn't faze me. You're not under my skin. CM Punk says otherwise, saying that you always call me by my government name, Phil. You never call me CM Punk. My family and my close friends call me Phil, but I would never call you Joe because I have far more respect for another Joe who's a real Samoan. And then Roman says, well, you can tell that Joe to acknowledge me too. Love that line. Then we get to the heart of the matter of Punk basically calling Roman Reigns part timer and that you are not really here and present. And Roman's like, well, your wife understands the game of being a part timer. So don't look at me when she's doing the same thing. And besides, I know what this is all about. I know that you see me and you think that I'm not really committed, but look at you. Look at you. What have you done lately? Because without me, there is no main event of WrestleMania. Without me, you don't have that championship because you know that you're not faster than me. You're not stronger than me. You're not better looking than me because I'm younger than you and you're old. And at that moment, Punk punched out Roman with a mic. And at that moment, being called old was triggering. That was Roman Reigns' best line after he basically told you, I'm going to bury you next to your dead father. I'm going to go for ageism. What a comeback.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I'm gonna keep it real. As I've gotten older, when I go play with these young bucks on the court, being called old hurts. I'm gonna tell you, it's that stings a little bit. But I actually, so I kind of, when something does get to you and you know somebody's trying to get to you, the best thing you could do to really piss them off is not show them that it's gotten to you. And I think that's exactly what Roman Reigns was going for. And let's just keep it a buck. CM Punk is not the toughest guy when it comes. He's very, I mean, it doesn't take a lot for him to get pissed off when somebody says something to you. I mean, you mentioned real glass, and who knows what he might do. So, like, we've seen what words can do to CM Punk. So this fits like everything, like perfectly. I think it worked perfectly. Like, we know words and bracelets are CM Punk's two Achilles heels. Okay, so like this was spot on for me. Like Roman Reigns, no selling everything, having the like that week off. He was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna let it phase me, and he didn't. And that's exactly what he got, that one shot in, and Roman just laughed it off. Like nothing would piss you off more than to sucker punch somebody and they just laugh it off. Like for me, this worked really well because I kind of get what they're going for. Like you get in somebody's head by laughing off their best shots, and then you come at them because you know that they're a little bit fragile when it comes to their ego. And CM Punk probably is a little bit hurt when it comes to his age. Like he is the old head. He the old head in the group. So I thought it worked really well.
I was so because when somebody talks about your father, you have to respond accordingly. And you came for that man's age. You said, man, you are 3 years away from double ARP, bitch. And what? That's what he said. Now, he probably going to save Larry for another day.
Yeah.
He probably going to save Larry for the end. He said, I'm going to put you down right next to Larry. And then what?
He might leave Larry alone, man. Like he might leave Larry alone. Like it's the Pops thing. No, listen, the Pops thing was tough, but he did apologize. He did apologize for it. He apologized to Jimmy. Like he said he was sorry to Jimmy. He just didn't say sorry to Jay. We're keeping it a buck. He did apologize to Jimmy. He was like, you know what, Jimmy, my bad. That's on me. That you was collateral damage. Jay, screw you. Call your cousin and tell him to come talk to me. That's how that went last week.
Yes. And like Jimmy says, listen, I got my apology, Jay. I don't know about him, but what I do know is I got it for the family, for myself. And that's what was important. And I did love the line that CM Punk said, like, you know what? I deserved what I got last week. I did. Message sent from the wrong messengers. Right. It should have came from you. If I'm talking about your father, about your patriarch, then I don't know, maybe you should come at me properly. Not use your cousins. Not Flim and Flam over here to do that. Not Flossom and Jetsam. Come on now.
Flam. Hey, listen, we are slowly getting back to the bloodline. Like Jay Uso is slowly becoming the right-hand man again. Like yes, he is absolutely the way he was coming at LA Knight and stuff, and just his whole mannerisms. Like the last few weeks, he is slowly transforming back into being called the right-hand man.
Yeah. I love LA in that segment too. Like, listen, I love y'all. We friends, right? Like now, LA, you and Jay are never gonna be friends. You and Jimmy, y'all friends. Y'all gonna break bread at Waffle House. Y'all gonna have a good old time with some hash browns and some waffles and eggs. You and Jay, you are never gonna break bread like that. But he's like, well, listen, we cool. We here. Vision business, we're here. Bloodline business, I'm not fucking with y'all. I just want to let y'all know right now, like, I'm not here for this bloodline business. I think we're getting the bloodline back. I think we are. I think that Jay's going to be more all in versus Jimmy.
Fernando. The man said Tito Uso. I'm assuming he's talking about Jimmy.
Yes, Tito Uso. The temerity of Fernando to go in on poor Jimmy Uso. Big Jim is not Tito. He's Randy.
Well, I was going to say, so Jay must be Jermaine.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. That's got to be it. Okay. That's got to be it.
Okay. All right. I got it. Well, that can't be true because Jay got him a hit. Jermaine didn't have no hit. Tito had a hit. Didn't Tito have a hit?
That predates me, Scott. I don't know.
I know one of them got a single and got Mike on the background vocals. I just can't remember which one it is.
Listen, I gotta go through the Jackson 5 singles catalog for the brothers and see what's popping off over there. And then David asks a question: do Jay and Jimmy have? No, they're not the same personality. They're very different. Jimmy is
Jay
more
got
cool.
Anger issues, and Jimmy's
more
sure.
Cool.
For sure.
Jay's more of a hothead. Jimmy just cool as a cucumber. Delivery smooth. Like For the longest time, I rocked with Jimmy as a personality more than Jay. Jay is coming to his own, but I am always going to be favorable a bit more towards Jimmy because I think he has the nuances more down than his brother. And he always has. Always has.
Yeah, very different in a good way, though.
Yeah, in a good way. In a good way. As we make that quick transition to Friday Night SmackDown on USA from this past week, I have to broach the subject because I want to pick Scott's brain. I want to shout out Sam from Power Bombshells because she wants your thoughts on this because I know probably how you're going to tilt on this, and I have to rebut you. I'm going to do my best. So there was a Miz TV segment on Friday Night SmackDown starring one Michael Mizanin and one Jelly Roll. Okay. And the Miz basically called that man a fat ass who needs to stay fat, essentially. And that's what he said. That's what he said. And he said, like, you're overrated. I liked you when you were big. You suck now when you're skinny. What value do you have? And Jelly Roll had to stand on business and say, I worked very hard to get where I am. How dare you shame me? How dare you belittle me, disrespect me on your show? I'm your guest. How could you? And then Kit Wilson comes out talking about you're being toxic because you embraced losing weight. How dare you worry about your self-image and your health? The audacity to promote a positive, healthy image. And so they're about to get into it until Jelly Roll knocks out The Miz because Danhausen cursed him backstage earlier in the show. Then we got a report online, Polly from WrestleVotes or PW Insider, one of the two. And they said that we could be teasing a WrestleMania showcase match involving The Miz and Kit Wilson versus Jelly Roll and Voice Keys. I'm sure Scott is going to defend this to his heart's content, and I will give him the floor to do so.
I'm not surprised. When you need a hand to go out and get a celebrity a 4-star match, what do you call? You call Mike.
Ghostbusters.
You call the 2-time Grand Slam champion. Okay. You call the 19-year. No, you call the 19-year vet. Okay. You call one of the longest tenured wrestlers in your company, the guy who got Logan Paul that itch, the guy who got Logan Paul his first 4 stars at SummerSlam. That's who you call. Okay. Who better to lead Jelly Roll to another solid match? Who better to get over? You want to talk about somebody who gets some brothers over? Mike the Miz. R-Truth. Carmelo Hayes. Mike the Miz. Love to get him some brothers over. I'm all for it. Makes complete sense. You get Kit Wilson on the card. You know why? The Miz effect. Royce Keys getting on the WrestleMania card. You know why? The Miz effect. I think this is one of the better moves that they've made. Miz getting on the card. Very impressive. I have to also think that Miz is, how many WrestleManias has he been on? Let's give this man some respect. Let's give this legend the respect that he deserves. And when he leads Jelly Roll to the best match that he's ever had, you're welcome.
I knew that you were going to go all in on this because of Michael Mizanin. And a part of your argument is absolutely accurate. It is. But I have turned sour on Jelly Roll. He can kick rocks. He can kick rocks for various reasons. I no longer care about him. He's on the same boat as Logan Paul. I do not care. When I saw him on my screen on Friday, I rolled my eyes and said, can this be over as soon as possible? I can't. Voice Keys, and I heard mixed reactions on our Discord too. But it speaks to company faith that they say that we want you in this spot with Jelly Roll to get yourself over. Because this should be a spotlight for you to have your WrestleMania moment. Now, I can tell you this right now. What this will not be will be Damian Priest and Bad Bunny versus The Miz and John Morrison. That ain't going to be what we're going to get at WrestleMania by any stretch of the imagination. But if your sole singular goal is to get over Royce Keys, this is how you do it. Jelly Roll can sell. He can land some punches. If he can do more than he did at SummerSlam, congratulations, blessings to you. But I am emotionally drained on Jelly Roll for various reasons. I don't care about him anymore. He's dead to me.
Well, that's fair. That's because he has no type of PR training, so that's completely
None.
fair. And you know, like you can't act oblivious to certain things. So that's just on him when it comes to that. That's just on him. And you know, country people, like the country music fans, that's a whole nother spectrum. Like they don't. So that's on him. Bad PR training, all that. But as far as in the ring goes, he ain't got to do a lot. All he got to do is just get beat up by the Miz, and then let Royce Keys come in and pin Kit Wilson.
Now, see, you ain't right. Because what is the benefit of beating Kit Wilson? You trying to spare your man an L. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Ain't no need in the great Mike Mizanin taking no L right there. You want to save that L from Royce Keys for later on down the road. Okay, save that because it means something to beat the Miz. So we're gonna save that.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Not gonna save that. Beat that man's ass at WrestleMania. do what you need to do. Trying to save the Miz. So yeah, let Kit eat the pin. It's okay. Gotta protect the Miz. Please.
Gotta protect that man. You need to protect that man at all costs. You seen what he does for brothers. Okay. He gets brothers WrestleMania moments.
And he turns on them. And he turns on them.
And look what happened
in the back.
And look what happened to Carmelo Hayes after that. R-Truth went on to have main event matches with John Cena. Carmelo Hayes went on to become the U.S. champion. Shout out to Mike, the Miz effect.
Yeah. As they actively ran away from Melo and Miz. As they would give you one blow-off television match and that's it. Not going to get a feud because they know how it's going to go. Meanwhile, R-Truth went bald and lost his job for a week.
That was Road Dogg's fault. And that's why he got fired. Okay. That was Road Dogg's fault.
Oh my God. You are not anything worth anything for saying that. You need to stop. And then I cannot pass this comment. Fernando says, I'd rather have Jinder instead of Jelly Roll at WrestleMania. That is how you've broken Fernando to say, I'd rather have my least favorite wrestler. I want Jinder to hinder me at WrestleMania. That's where we are. That's how low Jelly Roll is on the poll.
Listen, I get it. Who wouldn't want a former WWE champion with a nice long title reign and one of the best entrances in a long time to be there? I completely get it.
Sir, see, you did not have to add all those sentences at the end of that.
Oh, and former U.S. champion as well, won it at WrestleMania. So there's a lot to gain from that. I completely get you wanting to have Jinder there. A lot of titles.
Hush. All right, and then he says Jelly Roll looks like my car mechanic. With dental implants, apparently.
No,
with Invisalign.
My car mechanic might beat up Jelly Roll. I'm gonna keep it a buck. My dude's kind of ripped, so can't even insult him like that because he might mess around and hear this, and then he ain't gonna fix my car right. So I ain't gonna insult my mechanic like that.
You know, I'm gonna go here because we got time. Jelly Roll looks like he's gonna be like one of those spokespeople for Car Shield at 2:00 in the morning, telling you the benefits of Car Shield with Ice-T and Vivica A. Fox and Ludacris, apparently, all together telling me how to get Car Shield.
Well, I'll tell you this much. My kids like Jelly Roll, so they'll be excited about it. They'll be like, "Oh, Jelly Roll's wrestling, Dad." I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool. Just don't listen to him in interviews."
How he soured so fast. This guy's like, y'all can have that. I'm going in the kitchen. Enjoy some.
I like his music, so I don't mind Jelly Roll, but I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I completely get it. It's like you said, it's all about getting the spotlight on Royce Keys. That's the whole thing. And that's probably what it's going to be. Royce Keys is probably going to winning a handicap match, essentially.
Yeah, thankfully. Fingers crossed. Yes, David, I will be sitting prison to Conan. We don't know the exact nature of what happened recently with his health. Could be a leg amputation in all likelihood, but we are praying for Conan's health during this time. Obviously, thank you for mentioning that to me tonight. And then Fernando says the Miz pinned Cena at WrestleMania. And then you know what? The greatest thing, Fernando, is the fact that he doesn't remember it. Does not remember it happened.
But we all do.
I don't.
Oh, you do. Oh, you know what? You know what? And not only that, the Miz is the catalyst for one of the biggest matches in WrestleMania history, John Cena versus The Rock. Let me tell you something. The Miz has his stamp all over the biggest moments, matches in WWE. It's amazing.
It is amazing how The Miz has cost Atlanta a WrestleMania for the last 15 years. We have a new, beautiful stadium, too.
Yeah, after they showed up on Raw a few weeks ago, we see why they haven't come back for WrestleMania.
You know what, sir? Leave me alone. Leave me be, okay? And then Fernando says, let's not forget about Ric Flair and Car Show, too. So he's all up in the Car Show money as well. Cannot forget that. As we now get to the main event angle of SmackDown, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton had a contract signing for the undisputed WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. And Cody signed the contract immediately. Cody dressing like a lawyer is grating on me greatly. This is heel wardrobe. I did laugh as he spanked his cheeks on the top rope, knowing he was caked up. So he is very self-aware of those buns back there. He smacked his own ass on the ropes. I saw that. Cody was not slick. I witnessed that. Scott knows I'm telling the truth. He saw it too. He knows I'm not lying. He smacked his own behind.
And Cody's cheeks, rope. Man. You and Cody's cheeks.
They're prominent, Scott. They're prominent. They're prominent, and he spanked his own behind. So he signs the contract, and Randy is hesitant, and Cody says, "No, man, don't be hesitant. I came into this business. You're my first opponent. We created a legacy together, wink, wink. And you are not my brother, but I'm your boy. I'm your boy, though. I'm your boy. And I love you. And whatever happens, we're still going to be good after this. So don't hesitate to sign this contract." And Randy's like, "It should have been Drew." Wanted to be Drew. And Randy was trying to convey a point that Cody simply could not understand, but he did eventually. So Randy signed the contract, and he and Cody had an embrace. And as soon as they did, Randy went low, kicked that man in the nuts, hit him face first into the table, and proceeded to whoop his ass. And he grabbed some steel steps, and he chucked them in Cody's face. And Cody, for the love of the game, bladed like a madman, cut himself open to draw maximum blood, and Randy proceeded to beat this man's ass like he was Carrie. That's what it was. He beat him so bad that he got a chair and he concertoed Cody. And the officials tried to break things up to no avail. And Cody was laid out. Randy grabbed the championship belt and had a seat to ruminate on his actions. And then Cody Rhodes, who said to himself, "You know what? I have to go backstage at Aura Farm. Let me have you guys snap pictures of me being all bloody after the fact to sell this angle." Now, Randy turning heel is a big step for this match at WrestleMania. My question becomes the timing of it all. because Randy is beloved by the fans. And I think very little is going to deter them from cheering for him at WrestleMania. So, do you think this was a good decision for them to turn him heel? Cody still being a babyface, even though you're hearing those boo birds a bit more often at these live events that goes beyond international shows. It's now stateside as well, and how that could affect the final road to WrestleMania for these two men for this championship at WrestleMania.
So it kind of goes twofold, because at first it's like, are they doing it to make sure Cody gets cheered? Are we in that kind of Cena phase of Cody Rhodes where we're going to do whatever we need to and turn any top baby face? Like they did this with Ryback. When, trust me, I don't have a lot of good things to say about Ryback, but at one point he was incredibly over and they turned him heel just to feed him to John Cena. So it is a question of whether they're doing that. But I think after what happened on Raw with Randy Orton and the conversation that he had, and he's telling the person, thank you. And did you see what happened? And he mentioned that there's more than one royal family, and we don't know who he's talking to and who gave him that advice. Was it The Rock? Was it Triple H? Other people who are part of royal families, whether it be marriage or whether actually you have some blood in the bloodline. So there's a lot more. I think there's a lot more story to be told. Now, if he'd have just beat him up and not kicked him low, you could just say he's getting his edge back. But Randy being this aggressive Randy works really well. Like they did this when he was feuding with Jeff Hardy, and they turned him heel back in the day, and it worked and got Jeff a lot more cheers, even though he didn't really need it. We'll see what happens if it doesn't, and if it doesn't work, we're just going to get a polarizing reaction. But I think they'll be able to put on a good enough match for Cody. One thing about Cody Rhodes, which is very similar to John Cena as well, when Cena was getting booed all the time, is regardless of how it starts, by the end of the match, Cody normally has the fans on his side. Like he's not at that Roman level where they're still booing him throughout the entire match, throughout the entirety of whatever's going on. It's usually something at the beginning. We'll get a polarizing reaction during the mid part, but by the end, they're usually behind Cody Rhodes and rooting for him. And I think Randy Orton will do a good enough job to get them behind him. But I thought the segment was great. I thought it added a lot of fuel to the fire for the match. And, hopefully Cody's not on TV for a couple weeks to really sell it. At least another week. I like the fact that Randy was like, it wasn't supposed to be you. Like you were not supposed to be in this position. Cody kind of being a little not understanding it until it was too late. I thought the segment was great.
It was great heat, very memorable angle. Randy's a heel, very bold choice by WWE. They're very aware of like, we got to do something to juice up this main event match at WrestleMania for night one. Let's raise the stakes to all of this. And they did so with Randy's attack. I thought it was great. Randy was exceptional and he's locked in. And Cody, he's not going to be topped by a Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania. Like I'm going to go out there and try to present my main event match as something must see as well. And he's going to have to find a way to build sympathy up after this beatdown, because a lot of fans enjoyed it on SmackDown this past Friday. Encourage Randy to do it one more time. So when they're in North Carolina this week for SmackDown, it's going to be very interesting to see how Randy adapts to that situation. Does he lean less to the cartoon of it all and lean more into himself? And for Cody, as Fernando teased, he's been looking like a lawyer lately as well. Looking like a lawyer more and more and more. And I don't know if that's a good look. I do not know. Because it just gives heel. It does. And yes, the comparison is the son of Colonel Sanders. Yes. Cody knows all 11 herbs and spices. And half of them are packed behind him. But that's okay. That's okay. What? Well, I'm not lying. So I just need him to just read the room, be aware, and rise to the occasion. The feud has money written all over it, but you just have to stick the landing. You do.
Yeah, I think this match could, like, in ring, just purely in ring, this could be better than Roman and CM Punk. I just don't think it'll have as much juice. Randy's at that point where he's smart enough to like Randy. There's a lot of similarities to it. Randy and Roman both do a lot more with less. Like Roman's going to make his shots and his punches feel more, just like Randy Orton is too. Cody's going to create a lot of the movement. So I'm not really concerned about the match. I think even if they decide to just flip it and just cheer Randy Orton and boo Cody Rhodes, the match is still going to be really strong, and those reactions are still going to work. And I still think they'll be able to get them where they want them by the end of it. And again, I do think we need to remember about that conversation he had tonight on Raw or last night on Raw, who he was talking to, because there is a chance, could be small, but there is a chance that somebody else is in Randy's ears saying, hey, you need to go back to the old you. And I guess could be Stephanie. She's experienced the old Randy Orton firsthand when it comes to a main event. Could be Triple H. They got history. Could be The Rock. There's a lot of people, especially when you talk about there's more than one royal family. Like when you throw that line out there, and obviously you could be talking about his family as well, but I just think I think there's more story to be told when it comes to this.
Yeah, we shall see how it all plays out. There's time to tell the story. I feel hopeful. Cody, when it's time for big moments at WrestleMania to shine, he does. And you don't want to be overshadowed by Roman and CM Punk. So you got to bring your own flavor to this match on Friday Night SmackDown. Randy will talk more. He was providing information via horrible video quality on Monday Night Raw. Horrible. Like, let's not do that again. So once we get to SmackDown on Friday, we'll hear from Randy. Let him sound like himself, but understanding the stakes involved to be champion, and let Cody come out there and speak his piece as well, preferably by not looking like a substitute teacher.
Well, I just think he stole IRS's clothes, but either way, yeah, the clothes. I mean, that's Cody though. Like that's Cody is like Cody is 100% in his John Cena phase where he is who he is, and he's not going to change who he is because people don't like it. And I think that's just where we are with him as the number one guy.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to see how it all plays out for sure. So that was SmackDown. I would be remiss if we don't talk about Sami Zayn and how he and Cody had another argument, and Cody basically called him out. Like, what do you want? Do you want a championship match from me? Because I can make that happen. We can make the match right then and there. And Sami backs down from that. But I love the recurring joke that anytime that he has to apologize and say, my bad, I'm rooting for you, I'm celebrating all of you here, that there are water bottles strategically placed on these production trunks. And when Sami loses the argument, he immediately just smacks those water bottles all over the place. It is a great running joke right now.
Yeah, the only running joke is Sami Zayn right now. So I like this man is just wasting screen time. I don't know what we're doing with him. I don't know what he's got planned for WrestleMania, if anything, or if he's just going to be back there, or I don't know. We got Aleister Black filling in for Karrion Kross where he left off before he left. So it's I don't know what they got going on with that. He might as well just go back and join the Bloodline.
Oh God. Oh God. Well, you know what? He might have to. He might have to at this point. But I tell you, if you have a water bottle, run. If you are the water bottle, run, because you are not safe backstage. Please protect thyself.
Yeah, but he'll come and apologize later, so it's okay.
Listen, the type of water he should never apologize to is Dasani. He can knock that out every day and we'll be good.
You know, Fernando, they've turned pretty much. There's a picture of Cody Rhodes being held after he won that title, and every single person in that picture has turned on him except Sami and I think Jey Uso. I think those are the only two left who haven't turned on him. So it's probably just a matter of time.
There's still time. I love that for us. And with that, before we bid you all adieu for tonight, it is now time for Scott to be serious for a moment and pick his favorite match of the week in WWE. It could be Monday Night Raw, it could be SmackDown, it could even be Evolve on Tubi or NXT or a main event. Scott, your decision, your pick.
Well, before I give my pick, I want to give a quick shout out to Ren Sinclair holding it down for me this year. Bump Kalani Boredom. We ain't on no KJ projects. We on Ren Sinclair this year, holding it down for me, making me look good. One of my matches of the week is going to be Tony Khan versus the love of wrestling, because he decided to sign Ronda Rousey, and we know how much she loves wrestling, how much it's her favorite thing to do. I can't wait for her to go on one of her internet rants. But when it comes to in-ring, I'm going to go with Dragon Lee and Penta.
Well, when you put it like that, how can I possibly top that? How can I? There's no way.
Are you excited about Ronda?
Hell no. I'm not. Like, granted, listen, if she understands the assignment, I'm a heel. I'm supposed to be booed. They don't like me. Embrace it. Don't pull a hissy fit. They don't like me, and I don't know why. I'm one of the best to ever do it, and they're booing me. Get out of here. Any heat for you, you should just ball it up and accept it and utilize it. Be like Marina, flip them the bird, and be the badass heel that you're meant to be. Don't worry about how people are going to act and react to you. Just do you. So if Tony can figure that out, the man's the booker of the decade.
Yeah, until she gets knocked out by Gina Carano, and then it's like, well, we signed the wrong one.
Whoops. So sorry about that. Our bad. So we just squeeze in a little AEW-ness of it all, courtesy of Scott, who cannot resist himself every week when I mention facetiously the match of the week. But with that, that is a wrap for all things WWE on this here early Tuesday morning. What a show it's been. I want to thank my co-captain, Salty Babyface Scott Young, for joining me to recap the week so far in WWE.
Thank you for having me, Keila. As always, it's a pleasure to chop it up and talk all things WWE. And Fernando, for your question, my favorite Stone Cold moment is probably him versus Kevin Owens, because that was me actually experiencing a live Stone Cold match that I didn't have to retroactively watch. So that was probably my favorite moment.
Alrighty. And with that, we must bid you all adieu. It's been a fun show. Good to be back here. And we will be back next Monday around the same time, a little bit earlier, if possible, to recap the highs and lows for Monday Night Raw as the road to WrestleMania continues from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I think we got Roman and Brock next week. So it should be a pretty good show. I'm looking forward to Roman Superman punching CM Punk at some point here in the near future.
Alrighty. It's been fun. We've enjoyed it. We'll be back next Monday around these parts to dive into the week so far in WWE. I want to thank Curryhead and Fernando for sticking with us for this entire evening. We appreciate you, David, as well. It's been a blast, a pleasure as always, and we'll be back next Monday night, early Tuesday morning, to recap the week so far as the road to WrestleMania continues. So, on behalf of myself and for Salty Scott Young, that is a wrap for all things WWE. Take care and bye-bye.